Hey to the masses. Okay. So it's crazy because we haven't actually been able to talk to you all just directly, just Bryant and I. You've seen a lot of our daily vlogs. Of others, yes, our family. So today we have a bit of a feeling jerker for you, if you will. It was just something that I saw just the other day that disturbed me. So I feel like I just want to definitely give you all a warning early that if you wear your feelings on your sleeve, or if you're easily offended, or if you're the type that you know that you're caught up in your feelings, this is not you might not want to view this. This is going to be an eye-opening
experience.
Yeah, jack your jaw type experience and conversation that we're going to have with you all. So please feel free to comment, like, subscribe below, of course. And you can also be a super subscriber as well. If you do indeed enjoy watching Bryant and I, you can become a super subscriber, and they will automatically email you as soon as we post our new vlogs, so that you can stay on track and see what all's going on.
Don't want to miss that.
But let's dive on in. So I have come to the realization that there are quite a few women, men, people in general that honestly think that a whole culture of the opposite sex or their same sex or whatever your preference belongs to you. And I hate to tell you this and to bust your bubble, but they don't. They don't belong to you. I know that's harsh, but I just find it extremely amazing, and I'll give you all an example. I was actually watching a show a couple of days ago, and there were a group of women, and they were basically saying how they could not stand, or they could not understand why black men dated white women. My perspective, who cares? I mean, really, do you think that black men belong to only you? Like, to me, where is that written? Do they have some type of contract, or right? Is it some kind of United States oath that we all signed that I didn't know about? No, really, because I'm just trying to figure it out, and it's the same way on the opposite side as well. I'm sure as white women, or white women preferably, that see Brian and I'm sure they feel the same way, that white men belong to them, and I beg to differ.
See,
as you say. But I just wanted to definitely say that, and it's also the same way as black men feel the same way about women and whatever have you, and I mean it's the same when it's pertaining to you. But I just wanted to definitely encourage you all that you should not be so caught up in what
other people are doing.
And I would like
seeing,
right,
or talking to.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you should broaden your horizons. The one thing that I learned in sociology is that there are more people that are almost like me outside of my culture than there are anyone who's inside of my culture that is anything like me. People think, oh, since we're all black, or oh, since we all have this in common, or oh, since we all have this in common. And that's the complete opposite. There are more differences within cultures than there are with you and someone completely outside of your culture. So with that being said, I would rather you not put a preference on who you're looking for. So if you are only, I prefer black men, or I prefer black women, or I prefer men who's making over 100K, or I prefer men that have a Benz, or I prefer women with double D breast, or I prefer, I'm just telling you all the preferences, and it's sad that people actually have.
And you're never happy. You look for that and you're constantly in and out of relationships because that's not meant for you. You're looking for the wrong things.
And you're still single.
And you wonder why you're single, because you're looking for those type of things.
Right. You're not allowing love. There's no way for love to grow if you have a preconceived, a preconceived preference, which is also called prejudice and also discrimination. I only like brown skinned girls. Well, do you know that you're locking yourself out of everybody else that may be actually your soulmate?
And it's a very small window compared to all the people in the world that could be making you happy.
And that could be your perfect person for you. But you put your preference in a box. So since you have a preference, you shouldn't complain about being single, right?
No.
You only like what you like.
And you have to deal with them consequences that come with that package.
Right. Or don't deal with it and remain single. I only date thugs. Really? Really? So any wholehearted guy that comes to you, if he's not a thug, I guess to you, that's not a man. Hence, to you, you're dealing with everything that comes with a thug. I only date men with long hair. Oh, okay, really?
I used to have long hair.
But I mean, this should be a serious wake up call for you all. I just would rather you not put your love in a box. I would rather you just go out there and you never know. There's somebody of a completely different culture, probably something that you said you never date or I never do. A lot of times your nevers will become exactly what you do because you thought that you were writing your story of life and you're not. But I definitely wanted you all to know that you shouldn't be so angry when your preference doesn't have you as a preference. I mean, you may want to just pay some attention to that. Again, you do not own anyone. You don't own all the guys that make over 100K. You don't own all of the light-skinned women or all of the dark-skinned women or all of the brown-skinned women or all of the white men, black men, Asian men. You don't own them. You don't own them. It's not in the Bible that they're only supposed to belong to you. That's not in the Bible or anything else. So if you all can show me somewhere where you've read that, or somewhere where that tells us that we've signed some type of contract or oath that I, Nisha, will only belong to men of color. I don't remember signing that.
You got a man of color.
Oh yeah, he's peach.
Yeah, and then, summertime comes, staying out in the sun too long, I turn red, then tan. Then wintertime, if I don't stay out in the sun, when the sun is out, turn peach.
This is true. Now I think I have seen this in the flesh. So that's true. That's true. But I promise I didn't sign an oath to say that I, Nisha, belong to men of color.
See now.
Okay.
Somebody might have.
Some of you might have, and I would like. We're actually interested into hearing that as well. But I just want you all to know that this is America. It's a free country. So you're able to date. You're able to cross all type of boundaries and just open your heart, because you never know who exactly is going to be your soulmate.
Right.
You never know. It may be some of you all out there looking for a thug that ends up getting an Asian car salesman.
Uh-oh.
That's not a thug, because we know that that could still be a thug. That's not a thug. You would have never known had you not even explored. You would have passed him by, and that would have been your soulmate, and you would have had a happy life, because you have already boxed him out and haven't given him the chance. You all don't own anyone, and no one owns me. So we've heard so many comments like, let's talk about what men say. What do they say all the time? The queen of the earth, or what do they say? The queen of the earth, or the black woman. What is the black
Like Nubian queen?
The black Nubian queen. You have one of our black Nubian queens. I promise I did not know I was a queen. Had I known that, I wouldn't be working. Just saying. But I understand what you're saying, but I'm a black Nubian queen. I appreciate that, but that doesn't mean that I belong to you. It's just the reality. And I'm trying to talk reality with you all. So be sure to, let your guard down. You never know.
Make yourself happy. Be with those who make you happy.
Right. And you think
And not
that
be
the guy,
around.
you think that the person that you prefer makes you happy, but yet they've all gone. You may want to do another self-awareness check on that one.
Yeah, or you could be worried about what everybody else might think. Don't worry about that. A lot of people do that, though.
Yeah, did you think about what everybody else is going to think?
Definitely not. I care less.
And you all have to know I could care less. I mean, I'm a girl that has a dad as a pastor. Everybody knows, if you're following me on Facebook, or if you're one of my friends on Facebook, you know that I am a part of a predominantly African American sorority. So I honestly don't care what anybody... I didn't care what anybody thought or what anybody thinks, because I'm just not that type of girl. I don't care. So I definitely wanted to talk to you all about that. I just wanted to really scream out to you all that you do not own any group of people. You don't own them. They don't belong to you. They're not yours. So for all those women who are, why do white men date black women, or why do white women date black men, or why do Asian men date black women, or why do black men date white women, or...
Because they're happy. That's why they date them.
Because they don't have their preference in a box, or they stepped out of the norm.
Well, they got tired of that same old situation and tried something different.
Right. Did I do that? No. I didn't get tired. I didn't, it wasn't I'm sick of black men. No. I didn't get tired of any situation. None of that. I just so happened to get caught up in love. And he happens to look like this. That's literally what happened. So no, I don't not date black men or all of that. I just so happened to fall in love with Bryant. I feel he made me fall head over heels for him. and he was different from everything that I'd ever dated. He was crazy, and that's fine because at that time, I don't know, probably needed it. But he was different than, anyone I've ever dated, basically, and he came in, swept through like the
Great White Knight.
the Great White Knight. So, you never know. Don't close the door. Don't shut people out when you have no clue.
Right.
Do not do that.
Your next love could be at the gas station, pumping gas right beside you.
Yep. And another thing that really gets me is when people have all these expectations and they have all these preferences, and on the flip side of that, that is everything that you're not yourself. So, for example, I can only date a guy that's making 80,000 or more. Are you making 80,000 or more?
But you working at McDonald's.
And nothing wrong with McDonald's.
Right.
What I'm asking is, are you making 80,000 or more?
Or are you working?
So here it is, all these preconceived ideas and preconceived preferences because you think that's what you're supposed to do, and you really have no idea how to really search for the right person or anything like that. You're going on the norm of what you think America is expecting you to do. And if it's for all purposes to keep your race, because we've heard this, keeping the race pure.
Wow.
No comment on that one. A pure race.
Ain't no such thing. We all dirty.
Hold on. I'm not dirty. Lord knows what he's into. Now, I'm not. He don't went too far. But, I mean, this whole thing about keeping the race pure.
You're dirty.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I didn't, when I fell in love with Brian, I didn't think, oh my goodness, I'm doing something to my race. And again, we're different. I'm kind of iffy. I'm kind of weary about the whole race thing. I'm just kind of, I don't know. You all hear more about that. You may not want to watch that video either, actually. Because we're going to have these real conversations with you all. And we would like for you to comment.
Feedback.
Yeah, feedback. Comments below. We'll answer ones that are appropriate. But yes, comments below. It's fine. But my whole thing about anybody dating anyone else, my whole response to people that say, I can't believe my or our or anything that you think belongs to you is doing something that you don't think that you don't approve of, who cares?
Who cares?
Sorry, they don't belong to you. Yep. You have anything you want to say?
No, I don't care. You only could be mistreated or not happy. What else? For so long before you just, you know what I'm saying, you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? Well, maybe, it's not what you're doing, it's what you're not doing, I guess you should say. I mean, because you're not out that box, you know what I mean? There's been plenty of movies that's been like this, though, that's been out over the years where, people are interracial dating or whatever it may be, and they always think like, no, I ain't doing that, can't believe I did that, that was just a one night time or whatever, and they end up being happy. So, it's just something you got to step out on. If you're not happy with what you're doing, maybe what you're looking for is not meant for you, something else. So, I'm just encouraging you to step out that box, try something different, do something, anything different than what you're normally doing. I mean, it goes for anything and everything, but you know, you'd be surprised on the difference or the relief of stress or how happy you may become of changing the ways, stepping out, cracking a little window, raising it up, put your hand out instead of looking through it. Go outside. Go out with your eyes open though. Take them blinders off.
And and he's so true. And one of my favorite movies is Something New. I watch that almost every single night. I love it. I really do. It speaks volumes to me. Sanaa Lathan is in it. But yeah, Something New is really, really good because it really shows that she wanted to try something new, but her something new, she just knew, Knew, she just knew that it would be her ideal black man, but she found an ideal white man. So it just goes to show, and you know, it took her a minute to figure that out and explain that to her family and all of that. But it just goes to show, everybody knows the definition of insanity. You're doing the exact same things, finding the exact type of men and women. I know that you're not going to continue to repeat the same thing and then complain about not being happy, right, or being single.
She had that long list and had excuses and everything else to go along with it. And then smacked in the mouth. Like that. That was a response. Yeah.
This is true. This is true. Yeah. And another thing, what I found actually married to and when we were dating a white man, I actually found out that they are extremely accepting of who you are. They don't come with any preconceived type of for example, I can give you just a prime example. And now, let me please, before I even get into this, everybody has had their own experience. Don't go out here and look for a white man and expect him to be Bryant, because I promise it's only one of them. So I'm just telling you my experience. So the first thing, one of the first things that spoke volumes to me, which is actually on the movie Something New, is the exact same thing, is that he asked for her to be completely naked because she had a head full of weave. So he had already dated many women of color on the movie Something New, so he knew that she had fake hair in her head. No disrespect, not trying to be funny. With my experience, one of our I think like on our second or third date, Bryant actually Bryant, what did you do?
Cut it out.
He cut that sew-in weave out of my head, and I have not had weave since. Second date. So one thing that I did not even know at the time that I know now looking back is that he accepted me for me. He accepts me for who I am. He doesn't have any he's not biased in any way. He didn't come into the relationship with any I don't know. I could just be myself basically, and hopefully he got the same with me.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
They come with no rules or regulations.
Right. The same things that you...
Standards.
Right. The same thing that you would if you remain in your culture. All cultures have them. All of them. I don't care what culture you are, what nationality you are. All cultures have certain rules and certain standards that they abide by, whether spoken or unspoken. Come on now. We all have certain rules. This is why now women of color are finally figuring out, and I need everyone actually to jump on this bandwagon as well, but this will be another video. the natural you is best. Take me for who I am. This is me. This is how I was created. I love me. So once you start to learn who you are, and once you start to actually love who you are inside and out, you won't try to be something different on the outside to try to will people in. You will learn that your outside is your inside, and you will will them in with that, if that makes sense. But that's just, that's just my tidbit of it. He's very Bryant is very accepting, and this is just something that I've heard other couples say as well that look exactly like us. I don't know if you all have been paying attention, but there are a lot of couples that look like us nowadays, and they're coming in volumes, and I don't know where they came from. Hey, who knows? Don't ask me. I really don't know. But what I do know is that Bryant was very accepting of who I am, and he accepted what I stood for, and he didn't come with any preconceived rules or regulations or any of that. He just didn't. Yeah. Because you have to, and mind you, we've been together for 13 years. We've been boyfriend and girlfriend for 13 years. We actually celebrate that anniversary every month as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're married. Now, mind you, if you think about 13 years ago is when I actually started wearing my natural hair. And it wasn't as prevalent, especially where we live. And I'm not really going to discuss where I live. But it wasn't as prevalent to see where I live as it was probably in, say, California or somewhere who's, decades before we are. I mean, So I don't think that my culture, or the culture that I guess I would identify with if I had to choose, men and women agreed with me being natural. And men, I can honestly say, I'm okay, you've heard me say I'm a pimp. I have several guys. No sexual activity, nothing, because of who I am. I'm just saying, let's get that flat out there. So when I say I'm a pimp or I was pimping, please don't think sexual. I had to do nothing sexually to have a market of men because of my personality and who I am. Okay? So, and that's even with my natural hair. And then on the flip side of that, I saw a lot of men that did not agree with natural hair at that time. Now they're finally starting to jump on the bandwagon. But I can promise you, as soon as you be yourself, and if you decide to go natural, and if you're worried about if your black men or your white men or your Hispanic men or your Asian men are going to like you for you being naturally you, it's time for you to step out of your box. Because if they're not going to accept you for who you are, what's the point of being fake? What's the point?
People don't realize that they try harder. You put more effort into to meet these
Standards.
You put more effort and time over a period of time. It's a lot of stress. And you get all that built up, and then you get in a relationship, and then the person that you with finally sees that they ain't what you put all into it. They ain't really you. So what they do? Gone.
Right. They looking for that next person that has weave in their hair, or that next person that has the 10 pounds of makeup that you have on, right? They look for that person that is back doing that because they didn't accept you for who you truly are, because you weren't showing them your true self anyway. It's kind of like you're a dirty lie. And I let me not say dirty.
Well, and also they're not going to be real with you on that either. They're going to make up some type of excuse to hit the door or whatever the case may be. It ain't never going to be. When some people might be truthful to you and tell you who you really are. But 9 times out of 10, that's when excuses come in, and you're stuck once again by yourself, sitting on your couch, drinking wine, watching Lifetime, eating bonbons, talking about where did I go wrong.
Right. When you weren't true to begin with. That's called starting a relationship off. This is to me now as a lie. That's just me. Oh, I can't let him see me without my weave. Well, why? Well, I don't understand why you have weave. What's the point? I can't let him see me without makeup on. Okay, why are you wearing so much makeup? If you cannot be yourself, what is the point? Really? What's the point? I can guarantee there are people outside of the box, in your preference box, that will accept you for you. No weave, no makeup, no fake, no phony. There are. I can guarantee it. This is a guaranteed thing. There are people that will accept you for you. Men, that you all are coloring your hair so that you're not gray. It's women that love gray, that are probably outside of your culture or outside of your preference box, that will love you and your gray. I'm not joking. There are women that will accept you for you. One thing that I heard on the show that I saw the other day was one guy said, and he was a African American man, and he said, I don't date black women because they've always thought the way that I dress, I'm gay. To me, that, and probably to you listening to that probably sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But does it sound like a lie? No. Think about how people treated Gabby. Think about it. They're more, as my culture, we're more busy talking about her hair. We have looked past the status that she had just created and everything that she had just done to talk about her hair. How dare you? Sit behind a computer, behind your weave, behind your makeup, the fakest you can, and talk about somebody. Get naked and talk about me. I want you completely naked. No weave, no makeup, let's talk. And what's sad is it came from her own culture. Again, there are so many people that are outside of the box that will accept you for who you are. White women, stop wearing so much makeup. Oh yeah, and so you know, there is a statistic done, and I can promise you, all jokes aside, you all are probably still starving yourselves. You're back in the 1910s, thinking that men do not want, thinking that the men that you're trying to catch now, your white men culture, you really, really, really think that they want you thin. That's a bold-faced lie. I'm going to tell you that from experience. I'm going to also tell you that statistically speaking, all men across the board they prefer a behind, and they prefer curves. So while you're starving yourself thinking you're not going to be accepted, you're doing the complete wrong thing, because there are men out there, and this is over 90%, that prefer curves. So they like you and your behind. They probably like mine better because of, I don't know, my behind's great. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Behind ain't white.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Compare your behind to a white behind.
Sorry. Who knows about your behind? I don't know about your behind. I can only speak from my behind's perspective. Are we behind? No, I'm just joking. No, but seriously, stop the madness. This is 2016. This is 2016. It's 2016.
It's time to get up, get out, and get something. Be real.
Yep. See what happens. See what I think it's so funny on the people on Facebook that say, "I'm wearing my natural hair today."
No, you're not.
Well, no, they are. But you make it a big announcement. So what you're basically saying is, "I'm the real me today." Really?
Till tomorrow. It ain't gonna look like this tomorrow.
Really? So are you saying that to say, I mean, it's like you are trying to beef up your likes because you'll say, "I'm wearing my natural hair today," or "no weave today," or which one do you prefer? Or, I mean, you'll say something to that effect as if your natural self is not your best self. I find a problem with that. You got to do better than that, ladies. You got to do better than that, ladies. Have to do better than that. And for all the women that I've seen get the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of the weave put in, sorry, statistically speaking, I'm talking to my fellow Caucasian women. Everybody knows that some of you all have thin hair. I do too. So I can relate, okay? I totally understand that. But there are men out there that will accept you for your thin hair. There are. I know it sounds crazy. What is wrong with you? What did you do? As Bryant laughed. No, there are.
You got thin hair, find somebody that don't have no hair.
See how he does?
I'm just saying.
No, really, there are.
It don't even matter.
So the things that you're insecure about are more hypersensitive to you than anyone else. Nobody else notices it but you. Really. You have anything else, Bryant, to say?
I think we can hit the nail on the head with that one. As they would say.
Yep. So black men like white women. What's my response to that? Who cares? No, really. Oh.
Who cares?
And remember, nobody belongs to you.
You got that right.
Are they with you?
Where they at? Exactly.
Boom. BryantNishaTV. Comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Don't like. You may not like. You have to have on your adult underwear for this one. And all of those that do not wear underwear, your adult attire, your adult mind.
Leotard.
Bring it on in. Bring it on out. This is an adult conversations for adults only. BryantNishaTV.
See you, masses. I ain't